Apple's created some pretty awesome content in the last while, and their video game company comedy Mythic Quest has really been popular and critically acclaimed. Since it has done so well for them, it isn't surprising that Apple has renewed the show for 2 more seasons. Let's check out what we know about the show, when is it gonna air, and how they made the announcement. Let's get to it. Warning, spoilers ahead. What did the head of programming say? The show did well in the eyes of critics, and they've had some really great feedback on the show. They have loads of fans that would have been heartbroken if the show ended. But in the end, none of us really get a say about whether or not our favorite show continues or not. It is all up to the creating network and their executives. Luckily for fans of Mythic Quest, the programming department was on board with the show too. After it was announced that the series had been renewed for season 3 and for season 4, everyone wanted to know how they felt about it. Matt Chernis, who is the head of programming for Apple TV+, spoke out about Mythic Quest and the choice to give the green light for multiple seasons. He said that the team at Apple TV, just like the rest of the world and also the critics, fell in love with the show. They enjoyed Rob McElhenney and his team's writing style that is so sharp but still so full of heart that makes these characters not only relatable but also make viewers care about them. He went on to say that Apple TV couldn't wait for viewers to see what the show had in store for the next few seasons, and we couldn't agree more. Rob had a great way to announce it to a friend. To make the announcement to the world, Apple TV and Rob McElhenney released a really cute video telling a friend of the show that it has been renewed. Sir Anthony Hopkins has been part of the show in the 2nd season when he was the narrator for the episode Everlight. He was even nominated for an Emmy for his contribution to the show. He sadly didn't win, but since he has loads of acting awards, I doubt his loss will be keeping him up at night. Obviously, Rob was excited to share the news with Sir Anthony. The only problem was that he can't quite seem to remember the show or who exactly Rob, or should I say Ron, is. It was a great way to announce the renewal and just as funny as any of the show's episodes. Then Jason Sudeikis from Ted Lasso crashes the call and it seems he is more popular than Rob. At least Anthony gets his name right. If you haven't seen the video, do yourself a favor and watch it. It was one of the best renewal announcements that I've seen in a long time. It should tide you over until we get some new episodes of the series. What is Mythic Quest about? The show is not only created by McElhenney, but also by Charlie Day and Megan Gans, and it stars Rob as Ian Grimm, the slightly weird but very arrogant creative director of the world's biggest multiplayer online role-playing game in the history of online games. He kind of would prefer to just keep all the glory for himself and do everything on his own, but sadly, since his game has gotten as big as it has, he needs more people in his company. The show revolves around the company and all the game developers, the assistant, the marketing department, and even a writer who specializes in science fiction. The first season was brilliant, but there was one episode that really pulled at people's heartstrings and set Mythic Quest apart from all other workplace comedies that we know and love. That episode seemed to really push the series to a whole new level and made it even better. When Ian and Poppy joined forces and became co-creators, things in the series really shook up. Like I said, it made it even better, and fans that liked the show in the first season started to really love it by season 2. The best episode. There was one episode that really stood out from the rest, the special pandemic episode. It was still really funny, but it also showed the loneliness and isolation that the entire world was dealing with at the time. The Zoom-style look of the episode just really drove the feeling home how that was the only way we were able to connect with the people we used to see every day. For many, they didn't see anyone, and how you could start to miss even the people that really used to annoy you every day at the office. For a normally lighthearted, fun comedy, it really hit home and it broke our hearts a little bit. It really had no business making me cry as much as it did when I just wanted to watch it and laugh, but it was really done brilliantly well and once again showed the range the writers of Mythic Quest have. What happened at the end of season 2? By the end of season 2, a new company was being formed and our favorite characters could be splitting into 2 separate groups. Poppy and Ian have decided that the game has gone as far as it can go. Could this really be the end of the game? How can they just abandon it? We will have to see how things turn out. Dana, who had quit her job and left the company, had come back and tried to get her job back. But instead of re-employing her, Ian and Poppy decided that they would rather pay for Dana to go back to school so that she can learn to code. Everything was changing and it seemed kind of scary. Did you enjoy the first 2 seasons of Mythic Quest? Let us know your thoughts about the show in the comment section. Do you have any theories for the new seasons? Share them too. We would love to hear them from you. Next up, we will find out when we can expect season 3. What can we expect from the new season? And more importantly, will Sir Anthony Hopkins make another appearance? Let's check it all out. What can we expect from the new season? I know we're getting 2 more seasons, but it's really hard to know what the future will hold for Mythic Quest. This is not a show that really plays by the rules of a normal comedy series or even of a workplace comedy. The show feels so fresh and new that Rob McElhenney and his team can really take the show anywhere their imaginations take them. It does look like season 3 might start out a little bit into the future when Dana could possibly be done with school. But honestly, I would love an episode or 2 with Dana in school and some of the chaos it could bring. I know it doesn't sound like a lot of fun, but I think these writers could make such an episode incredibly funny. But I think a lot of focus of the new seasons will be on the new company too, and how they're going to be trying to get it off the ground. Could they start with a whole new game too? Where will everyone end up? It seems like the show will be going through a bit of a rebirth in season 3, and a lot of things will change. But one thing that will stay the same will be the humor and heart that they bring to the show and how much fans are sure to keep on loving it. When will season 3 be released on Apple TV? We aren't entirely sure when we will really be getting the new season. Neither of the creators of the show or Apple TV have given us a solid release date yet, but there are a few hints that give us a bit of an an indication. First, there have been a lot of rumors that the writers' room will be opening up by the end of this year, or at least the start of 2022, and they will start writing and making new episodes soon. Secondly, they said in the announcement video that the show will be released in 2022 after Ted Lasso Season 2 and before Ted Lasso Season 3. If they do go on that timeline, it will probably mean that Mythic Quest Season 3 will be released in late spring. That timeline also makes sense since Apple TV is normally pretty consistent with the release dates. Normally, a second or third season comes out around the same time that the previous one came out. Season 2 came out in May of 2021, and since most of the production schedules are pretty much on track, it means that we can expect the next season around the same time next year too. Will Anthony Hopkins return to Season 3? It doesn't sound like he has plans to return, but there's always hope. In the video, it sounds like he would prefer to play Keely's boyfriend in Ted Lasso, but if the audition goes badly, we might still see him in Mythic Quest. Are you excited for the new seasons? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching.